Whatever.
Dude, I haven't paid that much attention to skate stuff since I was a kid.
Me neither. I don't even. This hat's really old. Look at the bill. It's all.
I've seen worse. Dude, my NF hat, if I really showed you how nasty that thing is, oof. But we had skateboards back in the day. I had AI Industries. What did you have?
I had World Industries.
Wait,
because I really
World
liked
Industries.
those little.
That's what I meant,
you
I
had
think.
too?
I think that's what I meant. You put
Yeah,
AI on my head
I think I
earlier,
remember seeing yours in your yard, like after a rainfall, just fucking chilling or something. Or maybe it was somebody else. I can't remember. I just
I don't
we
know.
had skateboards, but
We
it
weren't
was when
good.
skate was. No, it was when skate was like really popular at that time. But I lived so far back in the woods, I had literally no pavement whatsoever to skate on. So my options of trying to practice were to like skate through my house. You know,
I bet your mom loved
stupid.
that. That's a good point because remember, even I didn't have pavement until a little bit later because we were at the beginning of the road. But then they went a quarter of a mile with paving the road.
I remember
It was
being
like
quite envious of you because you did have a
at the
strip of
Y. It
pavement.
split. Yeah, but it split at the Y, which wasn't very far.
Yeah, and it was not the really smooth style pavement. It was like kind of chunky and bumpy.
It definitely wasn't good for. It was good for biking, but definitely not skateboarding. And then we tried to grind on the railroad tracks.
Oh yeah.
Which you ain't popping off of that crap. Not. It's like literally if you popped off on the left, you're rolling downhill, and you go on the right, you're hitting all the railroad ties and the rocks.
I remember getting called out by Nick Stewart's older friend because I was carrying around my skateboard because I really wanted to ride it, but I never really could. But I just packed it with me, kind of as a fashion accessory. And he was like, he called me out there. He was like, "Do something on it, like do a kickflip, that kind of thing. Like, let me see something right now." It's like,
that's hilarious. The only thing I was ever successful at was probably the most simple trick, other than ollie, which was a pop shove it. But a kickflip. I mean, we aspired for kickflips and we couldn't do it.
I know. If I had more pavement, maybe we weren't city kids though, and skateboarding's kind of a city kid hobby.
Yeah, we rode our 4-wheelers and our snow machines.
Damn city kids making like defining what's trendy.
We're like, what's a pavement? I've never heard of that.
So what's up, man?
I don't know, just it's been a slow, not quite 2 weeks since we got accepted on the house, and the amount of like paperwork and emails going back and forth are just starting to get tiresome. They they focused very hard on my divorce 5.5 years ago.
Excuse me, why?
It's like, hey, do you have a divorce decree, which is no more than 2 pages. It's like, hey, these people are divorced, signed by everybody and the judge. Boom, here you go. Then it's like, oh, we want all your paperwork. Okay, well, here you go. Here's all the paperwork I have. And then I get one today, and it's like, no, we need a form, which was never filled out for my divorce. We need a form AS25, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I looked that up, and so at this point, I'm like, why does it matter? My divorce 6 years ago matter so much? Like, I'm just trying to buy a freaking house with my wife now. Well, I would talk to my dad about it, and he's like, well, I think what they want to make sure that my ex can never come back and try to own the property that I'm about to own. And I was like, okay, that's justifiable. So I give him everything I have. And then I get the email today asking it's like, well, we need the form that says this, or this. And I was like, I had to do the research to tell them, I don't need that form because everything was agreed upon between me and my ex. Like, we did not have to have a judge decide on property and what's being divided and how to do this. We just agreed on everything, which made it easy. And so that form does not exist for us. And so I just had to tell them that. And then I was like, what is this going to be? Like, do I need to go get a statement from my ex saying that she's never going to try and get
what a pain in the ass.
This was my I was thinking. And then I get a thing that for a DocuSign to sign, and it's just basically my statement saying, I don't need this form because we didn't have a judge decide on everything. And then I had to sign it. And I was like, okay, cool. Please let that be the end of that, because this seems at this point to be holding us up to close. So haven't heard back, but I think that's probably it. It's just
It
funny.
should be good.
I don't blame them for the process. Like, it is smart to go through all that stuff, but the amount of time it takes to close on a house now is just like silly. And Jess and I are on top of stuff. Like, as soon as we get an email, it's like, boom, answer. Here you go. Here's the document you wanted. No big deal. So hopefully, hopefully that's done.
Hopefully so. Yeah. It's kind of dumb that they're so like in your business, but I suppose it is a lot of money.
And yeah, and I think it's like, it's smart because it's like trying to protect probably me and Jess. But I'm like, oh my God, let's just sign the paper. Here's my money. I can own a damn house.
Would it be to protect you, or would it be to protect the lender? Because
Could be
if
both.
your wife seized your shit and then you didn't pay for it or something like that, I
You
don't
mean
know.
my ex? What do you mean?
Yeah, your ex-wife took your property and then you didn't pay for it, or she would technically be entitled to part of it, so then she would, yeah, it could get kind of messy.
I'm sure it could, but I just like, I think about these are things I've had to think about. Is I've had a couple of different 401ks because I've gone through a couple different jobs, right? And at the
Yeah.
time you sign, like, if I die, this goes to this person. So I've had to change that paperwork, right? But this is a new thing. In no way, shape, or form is my ex's name going to be on any of this paperwork, except for now they've, introduced all the divorce paperwork. But she's not signing anything. Like, this is a new thing with my wife now. Like,
We
why
live
should
in
that ever
such
become a thing?
a litigious country
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
you're right. It's because we sue
so,
about everything.
yeah, it's all like, man, it's ridiculous. There should be simple laws, but everything's got fucking loopholes and
Yeah,
clauses,
yeah. Yeah, I've been
and
watching
everyone's
like all
fighting
that
like,
lawyer stuff.
yeah, like, well, we talked about this in earlier episodes about, you know, defense for wives during separation and how they end up getting
Hmm.
entitled to everything. And I'm sure there's tons of lawyers who just love to represent the wife in a divorce
Oh
because
yeah, because it's
they
like
get all
almost
kinds
a
of
slam
shit.
dunk. Yeah,
Yeah, this is
yeah.
gross,
It's a
man.
broken system. It's broken, much like many things that we deal with in our day to day lives. Uh,
I just
I would.
cannot. I can't fathom or understand being the kind of like. I know it like you said, it's like the world that we live in, but it makes me sad that we have to like frame our worldview and our lives around the fact that there are so many people just trying to take advantage of everything and
Hmm.
get
And
money where they
they have
can.
so many opportunities. Like, logic doesn't exist in the, I would say, in the law, like, or in the law of like lawsuits. I would say a lot of times logic doesn't exist. It's not like, well, that doesn't make sense, so let's not go like that. Boom, case closed. That doesn't
Like
make
common
sense.
sense stuff.
Yeah, it's
No, it's
just.
about definitions and what's been written
Hmm.
and finding ways to like meet those
And
criterias.
yeah, you could have like the best relationship with your business partner. As soon as somebody scorns the other, it's like, I'm suing you.
Yeah, especially if you have some lawyer that's gonna like be telling your wife or like you said, your business partner that, hey, you know, you're entitled to all this shit. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, it's
they're gonna try
crazy.
to convince you could get all this stuff. You're actually a victim in this situation.
Which is funny because it goes back to kind of what I just said about like my divorce. There was a dissolution of marriage. Everything was agreed upon. It was quick. It was easy. Nobody uh, name called, pointing fingers, or anything. Boom, here's documents. We're done. And now, you have mortgage companies out there. They're being like, well, now we have to super double, triple check that there was no damage done and that there can't be damage done afterwards or after the fact. And it's just
Yeah, you
sad
know,
because it's like,
um,
I don't care about that stuff anymore. Like, I always think of it behind me, minus my kids are always in front of me. But like it's all
Put that
gone.
whole
Like
chapter of my life behind me, the
well,
kids, all that
not,
shit.
you know what I
It's a
mean.
different
No,
life.
it's not like that. It's that shit has happened, and good things have happened since, and those things shouldn't have to affect you anymore.
Two
And
bad things happened in the past, right?
yeah, shit happened. It's fine,
Just
but
talking about
why?
the
So,
boys, I was just joking.
oh, are you trying to piss me off?
Yeah, fucking with you.
But it's
No,
funny because
obviously not. Yeah, go
you
ahead.
know, Jess obviously doesn't. It's not like she's mad about it, but I'm mad about it. I'm mad that this keeps coming up because I'm like, it's fucking done with 6 years ago.
It feels like a stain or a blemish on your otherwise
Because it
sterling
comes up all the time.
career. Yeah.
Yeah. And it can come, and then maybe that's the point. It can come up again in things like as far as what I was saying with like
But like you said,
401ks
you had a pretty
or
clean
life
divorce. It
insurance.
wasn't some
Super clean,
totally
yeah.
crazy
No,
shit.
no. And there was crazy shit that led up to it, but like once you just decide to go separate
Yeah,
ways, it was fine.
the divorce itself wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad.
Dude, somebody
Probably
needs to sponsor us with our nasal sticks.
no, don't say that because you're getting your nasal sticks from some already local company that's like, uh, doing what I want to do because all mine are imported from
I would love
Thailand.
to. I'll send me some motherfucker.
No, but I'm saying we don't want some local company to sponsor us. We
No,
want to
yeah,
build our own
let's have
brand.
your.
No,
Oh,
we can
okay.
import ourselves and do this ourselves. So
And then
once we get
sponsor
there,
ourselves
no, we'll be like Tucker Carlson where he's like
with
pimping
the
out
or not the Zen.
his Alp whatever chewing his little pouches.
Zen pouches, yeah. Or does he
Yeah,
have his own
but
now?
he has his own. No, he
Didn't he
made his
just get
own.
screwed over hardcore? It's like somebody stole a bunch. I read.
Oh, I don't know.
I
But I
was
know that
wondering.
he has
Yeah.
his own brand of pouches, and he's like touting that they're cleaner than Zyn and all of this stuff. I'm sure they're exactly the same thing, but
Oh yeah. He used to be like a huge Zen guy, so now he has his own.
yeah, he made his own. It's called Alp,
So
I
somebody
think.
hijacked Tucker Carlson's nicotine pouches, and now they're $100,000 month. There's a $100,000 manhunt. ALP is what his is called.
Alp,
Alp, okay.
not
Alp
ALP.
Supply Company.
I said Alp like 4 times.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I was like, I don't fucking know, dude.
I said it
Sorry.
like every time you said Zyn, I said Alp.
Maybe I thought you were just making a weird sound.
And you're like ALP or whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, you thought I'm just over here going, help, help. So like a dolphin or something.
It was on track. I don't know.
Wait, that's not a dolphin. That'd be a sea otter.
Yeah.
Dolphins
Yeah,
go,
you idiot.
I know, I don't want to look foolish with my comparison.
With your animal sounds.
To make sure I don't embarrass myself.
They now have
Yeah.
like caffeine pouches too. And it's funny because God, I always say that. I go, it's funny. I'm like, I look at it, I was like, who's going to get these nicotine pouches? As I'm like,
Yeah, but
these nasal sticks are great.
These are like, and I say like every other word. But these do not have any like real stimulant impact. I just said it again. I was trying so hard not to say like. I slipped it in. It was a tiny little one.
That's what she said.
These have they're just aroma sticks.
Yeah.
They're healthy.
They have benefits
nicotine,
because menthol and stuff.
Right, but you're
Dude,
not
it's funny.
Inhaling chemicals that are going to actually impact your.
I've got 2 right now.
I got one that has my favorite one that I got from Thailand has double stings. You just stick it up both nostrils and just breathe.
Dude, that's what I need when I have to pick up the dog shit. I went and bought Vicks the other day and put it all up in my nose, and then I put a gator on, and then I was like, I'm gonna go pick up dog shit now.
You're like some forensic crime scene person. That
Yeah,
has to
putting
go,
Vicks. Yeah, smell dead bodies.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, it's become a thing now that Jess is like, "Hey, I found your boom boom stick in the couch." I'm like, "Yes, I was looking for that one."
Nice. Yeah, these are all the craze over there in Thailand. Everybody smells these things. They're all about
I think it's great.
smells and stuff there.
I'm a unfortunately addicted Afrin guy.
Yeah, but look what they do to us here. Look what they do to us here. It's all medication with actual
Yeah,
side
yeah.
effects. And
That's why I
they're
like
like,
this.
"No, wait. Calm the fuck down. Just smell some menthol, you'll be fine."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it wakes you up, it clears your sinuses, all those things, and it doesn't hurt
yeah.
you.
I love it.
That's how Thailand
Like,
is. She was asking me the other day, she was asking me, "Do we have anybody over here that helps you with, if
I'm
you're
sorry, who
have"
was asking this?
my wife was asking me, "Is
Oh,
there
Hannah. Okay,
anybody here who helps you when, if you're hormonal or something for dietary changes that can help, regulate your hormones
yeah.
and
If you
things like
pay
that?"
for it,
Well, no, but she was basically what here's what they would do to you in the US. She's basically telling me I'm feeling depressed or whatever. So if you go to a doctor here and you say I'm feeling depressed, what are they going to do?
put
They're going to
pills
put you on
down your
fucking
throat.
pills.
Yeah,
Yeah, and she was looking at her, or we were looking at her, one of whatever the insurance is, and they have I want to talk to a doctor. Click, what's this about? And it's like, I'm depressed. I'm physically sick. The options were like would funnel her into just going and talking to someone who's going to put her on pills. There was also a nutritionalist down there, but that wasn't connected in any way to the question of I'm feeling depressed or I'm not feeling good or happy or healthy or whatever.
hmm
Everything should funnel down to nutrition. All of it, nutrition should be the first, thing that we
sure.
do. We can talk about that. I mean, that just pisses me off right there because you change your diet and most
Everything about you
ailments
changes.
you can fix. You're feeling sad, stressed,
hmm
bad
Well,
energy,
because it
all
boils
that
down to
stuff.
vitamins, right? Vitamins and supplements, and that you might be deficient in. But then on the flip
Vitamins,
side, so they do blood work, right? And then for me, my doctor is like, you are really deficient in vitamin B. So here, take this vitamin B complex twice a day. So I take that twice a day for a good amount of time. It's not like I felt like I was vitamin B deficient, but okay.
what does
So
that
I
even
take
feel like?
this
Yeah.
energy, I believe, maybe physically down or something.
So
I'm
it
not
could be
sure.
so many
Whatever.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I took the pills based on how he told me to take them, and then I got another blood test. And when I read the blood test, because in our stupid system I get them before the doctor reads them, and which is very dumb. So I look and I'm like, oh, my vitamin B's back up to normal. Nice. Then I get an email from him. He's like, you're still on the low side of vitamin B. Keep taking it. I end up poisoning myself. I poison myself with vitamin B. And what that looks like is at first I was nauseous every morning to where I was like, and I already have a really high gag reflex. So if my nose is bad and I'm like swallowing
Yeah.
snot, I'm like,
Mark cannot suck a dick worth a fuck.
sorry guys. Yeah.
I know. It's not.
That'll never be
Yeah.
on my OnlyFans.
I can only get the
Uh,
tip in, and he's gagging.
well, he was just so big. But anyway, so I'm like throwing up after I take my pills and I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, how am I still sick? Like I'm throwing up and wasting my pills and my supplements. And then the next phase was super irritability. Like I got really irritable on the dumbest thing. And I remember it like it was yesterday. We had put some UFC fights on, and we had some people over, and we had Papa Murphy's, and we're all pretty much done eating. Wesley comes over, and the pizza that had the jalapenos on it was gone. So Wesley, but he still wanted some pizza, but he loves his jalapenos. So I give him some pizza, and he's like, "Well, there's no jalapenos," and I'm like, "You're gonna eat what you eat, get what you
Just
get."
fucking eat
No,
it.
but I didn't get mad. But then everyone's like, just put some jalapenos on it for him. And I'm like, I'm trying to teach him a lesson. You get what you
Oh, you
get.
got all dug in on that.
Yeah, right?
He's
And so
being a
that's,
diva.
yeah, I'm like, just eat what's available to you. You have to eat what's given, which
That
was
shit
super dumb. It
pisses
was
me off. That
so,
shit pisses me
but
off
dude,
too, though. But I'm
it
sure he
was
wasn't being that bad
so
about it.
easy. No, he wasn't. And I just not like I blew up on him. It's like, put some jalapenos, even some cold pickled jalapenos on his pizza. He's going to love it. Boom, no problem. So
But
that happens that
yeah,
night.
you wanted to
And I'm just,
you wanted to torture him and make his pizza experience a little shittier.
it's right there. And I was just like, that like ate at me. I'm like, my fucking decision. I don't know. Then that night, TMI, my friends, I shit myself in bed. And I'm
I've
like,
never
what
done
the
that.
hell just
That sucks.
happened? Yeah, it was like,
It's the worst.
you know, you're like, oh, you let a little out, and you're like, oh God.
Oh, it's wet
That's basically what
on
happened.
my cheeks.
And then I'm like, I'm running to the bathroom, and then I'm like, what are all these symptoms? And it's like, you have vitamin B poisoning. And I'm like, that fucking doctor.
So you didn't get diagnosed. You kind of self-diagnosed.
Correct. And I stopped taking the vitamin B complex, and I stopped having that nausea immediately, which was a telltale sign for me, was that I didn't need to take it anymore.
Well, ingesting supplements, that can be not good for a lot of people. Just taking pill supplements. You're supposed to get your vitamins from, food and
The
things like
food
that.
you eat and
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
sun.
yeah. You're not supposed to just be
But I'm
popping
just
pills.
listening to my doctor, and I'm like, it's vitamins, and if you have too much of vitamins, you just pee it out. Well, maybe the other end, depending on what you're taking. But it pissed me off
Yeah.
because it was not long after that second blood test that all happened. Like, I had weeks and weeks of nausea until my body was like,
And you're like,
done.
what's wrong with me? I'm just
Yeah.
listening to what my doctor said. Everything
Yeah,
should be
exactly.
good.
We just do shit wrong in this country. And I'm not the type of guy that's going to sit here and tell you we should have universal health care, because I don't think that's the answer, because that's the answer to really shitty health care. But what I think the steps we take to help our citizens is just a way to make money.
Preventative is the best,
Correct.
not
Yeah.
corrective. Once you're already sick, then we're like, oh, okay, you got cancer now. Let's do chemo and all this crazy shit. It's like, why don't we stop people from getting it if we know
But
how?
yeah, and if you just think of it, and I think you might appreciate this, or you'll have a different perspective on it. Think of it like a good dentist. Like, brush your teeth, floss your teeth, gargle, come in, see me twice a year.
Mm.
Boom.
I, I,
Opposed to, go
oh,
ahead.
no, sorry, go ahead. You finish your point.
No, I was
As opposed to
opposed
what?
to a doctor who you come in because you have to get checked every once in a while to get the medication you need, and then they're like, well, let's do some tests and make sure that everything else is okay, even though you're acting completely fine. And it's like, oh, actually, I see that you're deficient in vitamin D now, and you need to take vitamin D supplements. And then I actually think that because your iron's a little low, I need you to go and get a specialty blood test, because I think you have this other disease, which is only
Right.
common in children. And it's like, it's
And
a
have they
fucking
ever
shit show.
asked you what the fuck you're eating?
No.
Yeah. Duh. Like,
Yeah.
could be a factor in a lot of this stuff. But
Yeah.
this
We start eating, vegetables and meat with no hormones in it. We're all going to be freaking great.
Yeah, I wanted to come back to your point because you said, a lot of feeling good is vitamins and things. That is part of it, but also part of it is not eating car. I mean, it's literally what, and people are gonna say RFK's some nut job, whatever. I really don't
Oh, and I think
care.
he's got it boiled down
Yeah,
to
so
basics.
people
Yeah.
people think, you know, carbs are great, and I'm leaning more towards carbs are not good at all. I'm leaning towards, we have way too much just refined sugar and sugar in general and everything we eat. I've been on the side of cutting all of that out and just going pure protein with, you know, with maybe some vegetables for some fiber and a little bit of
Hmm.
vitamins, but we eat way too much bread and pasta and then processed foods. All of that, aside from the vitamin aspect of it, is, you know, your insulin response is going crazy. Like, you're giving, a lot of us are probably pre-diabetic just from the amount of carbs and sugar that we eat. If we cut all that stuff out, it clears brain fog. You lose weight. Your body probably starts to straighten itself out in a lot of those ways. But then
That's yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Sorry.
on top of that, I was also going to say, I was just reading something that's in line with what you were saying, about when you went to talk to the doctor, and they'll look at your charts and tell you, this is not right, this isn't right. Well, if you give any credence to the idea of the carnivore diet or eating, steak like regularly, I looked and I read a bunch. Now, this is anecdotal versus this. This is anecdotal versus what the studies say. But so the studies say if you eat red meat, you're gonna get cancer. You're gonna have high cholesterol, be at increased risk of stroke, and all of those things. But I anecdotally, a lot of people that I was reading were coming in and saying, no, I eat steak every fucking day, and I have been for years, and although my cholesterol level shows as technically being high, I'm in amazing shape. I feel great. My doctor says my body
Yep.
looks good, so I should keep doing. Like, that's if you get a good
So
doctor, they're going to look at that and say, "We'll keep doing it." But if you get a bad one, they're going to look at it and be like, "You can't
say
do
your
that. You're going to
cholesterol
have a
is too
heart
high,
attack."
which is
Yeah.
stupid because who who created these baselines? It's scientists and doctors who also told you to take shots you shouldn't get. So I bet
Hmm.
I don't know at what time people were at their peak healthiest, but my guess now is the caveman days. As far
Hmm.
as, and then because then you go through a time where you had, we didn't have like real sewer systems and people were getting very sick from literal shit and rat feces and all that stuff and getting the Black Plague. So if we could boil down everything back to look at how great our infrastructure is, let's go back to not putting antibiotics into our meat and pesticides in our vegetables. One, we'll start growing our own because I don't think that farms will be able to keep up, which is even better in my opinion. It's like a skill. And two, we're just gonna feel better. I know I can
It's
tell
gonna be,
100% a difference.
yeah.
If I eat a steak from Safeway opposed to a steak from the butcher, my body reacts very differently. Meaning the butcher one is way better. And I could tell it's from my gut. It's my gut that tells me that. Like literally not my gut feeling, it's literally how my gut fucking feels.
Mm. Yeah. So I think that
Cool,
that's
just
even an
like
under.
totally
That's
not like what I said and just skip through it, and
that's an understatement
I'm
of
just
you're
kidding
gonna
you.
feel better.
I am gonna feel
No,
better. What do you mean?
I, I'm watching you, and there's some lag. There's some like really serious
Oh.
lag going on.
You just acted like what I said was stupid.
No, I was listening, but I'm also watching that your face that I'm watching is not matching up with the words at all.
Fair enough.
But no, I agree with your point completely. Like, I mean, I don't get steak from organic butchers or butchers, unfortunately. I'm just eating regular steak. But even just eating steak and cutting out like I said, cutting out the carbs and the sugars and things like that, it's, if you can like stick with it, is much better. And we should do that, and people should be doing that. But unfortunately, these doctors are so adamant about it's their way or the highway, and they're so quick to call you a kook, even if you can demonstrate like, no, this is working for me. Like, look, they're gonna like revert to whatever like paid studies or flawed studies. That's another thing. I was reading one, and they were, and again, you can challenge this. I don't know how accurate this is, but they were saying the studies for the increase of heart attack, stroke, and other things from eating red meat. The studies that they did, a lot of those people that were eating tons of red meat were also, you know, smoking cigarettes and eating a bunch of other
Mhm.
bullshit they weren't supposed to eat. Like, they weren't just eating an increase of red meat, they were eating an increase of, like, everything. They were not healthy, health conscious people.
Correct, yeah, yeah.
So you're gonna use that as your,
Your
as your
baseline.
gauge? Yeah, like, that doesn't, but they, of course, you can read studies in different ways, and you're not taking into consideration all of the external factors that could be impacting it. And I think sugar is kind of that one that's gotten away with it for a long time, just kind of sneaking in there and people don't look at it. But sugar is always there. It's always mixed in with all this other stuff and all these people that are getting sick. It's like, have we ever tried to just cut out the sugar? Like, just cut it the fuck
Right.
out. You don't need it. It makes you feel like shit when you eat a bunch of it. I mean, that should be a clue right there.
That and the dyes. We've noticed, so when RFK got, in his position and they started talking about more heavily about the dyes that are in kids' cereal, I started
Oh
paying
yeah.
more attention. Yeah, I started paying more attention to when the kids would eat cereal opposed to when they'd have peanut butter and toast or literally even a processed breakfast sandwich. But opposing that to the cereals and the dyes, their attitudes are way different. Their energy is way different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see with the cereals with all the dyes that they are more tired throughout the day, maybe a little bit more irritable, don't want to go do anything. And so then you give these kids, like Marshall loves eggs and toast. Give him some eggs and toast. That kid's gonna go all day to start. Like when you start the day with that, he's gonna go all day and like have some energy and not have any weird attitude things. And I just get annoyed with people that they're like, well, I don't want to be told what to feed my kid and da da da. It's like, well, you'd let a doctor tell you,
I've
and I
never
don't
heard
trust the
anyone say you
doctors.
don't. I've never heard anyone bitch about being told what to eat for being told to feed your kids healthy food. That's stupid.
You've never heard like, okay,
No,
well,
I've
I
heard
just think
people bitch
maybe I'm
about.
not.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know a whole ton of parents, but that would piss me off if you're trying to give somebody advice to like feed their kids health, like you're feeding your kid literal shit. Like,
Well,
grow
that's
the
what
fuck
RFK
up.
was saying, and people
Yeah.
are like, I don't need to hear things from a former
Well, then
drug addict who can't speak right.
have an unhealthy kid.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't
Same
give a
thing when
fuck.
it. Oh no, I'm not even gonna bring it up.
go,
The
go
COVID
ahead.
shot. No, I
Oh,
don't want to bring it up. We talked
well,
about it too much.
we can run parallel to that because I got another thing to mention. Another benefit of going, uh, cutting out carbs and going into ketosis. If you go keto,
Hmm.
that's actually proven to starve cancer cells.
I believe it.
So basically, all of these carbs and sugars we're eating that's what's feeding your cancer. So if you are already disposed, have a genetic predisposed to getting cancer, and then on top of that, you're eating tons of carbs, tons of sugars, basically a petri dish where these cancer cells can just grow and multiply, you're gonna get it a lot faster
Hmm.
or more likely. I mean, you might not. I know people who have gotten really old and not gotten cancer and eaten like total shit, but I think they're also
Yeah, but
lucky.
they're also a little bit older to where at first they didn't
That's
have
true. That's
those
true.
things. So
Very, very
you're
true.
going to start seeing
Um,
our generation is going to be the
yeah.
one,
Well, colon cancer is hugely on the rise.
which is
I know a
crazy because
guy.
it's so preventative.
Yeah, but you don't screen for it when people are younger.
No, it's because they tell you to screen for it at 40. Go screen at 30. Go screen at 25.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But no, to your point though, there are things causing it more than ever. Sorry, that I
if
understand what you're
you,
saying.
no, if you show symptoms, I would go. Like if you're having like us, like you're having some fucking crazy diarrhea shit, definitely go.
Yeah.
Like I went to my doctor. I'm like, yo, I've been having diarrhea for like 3 years. And he's like, that's not normal. I'm like, I don't want to get a colon screening. And he's like, my sister died from colon cancer. You're absolutely getting a
You're
colonoscopy.
absolutely doing it. Yeah.
He was like,
So
you don't get a choice.
you've had
Oh
one
yeah,
then.
have you? Of course, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
bad.
No, I thought it was gonna be way worse. I thought what was gonna be way worse was the prep because it's like they give you all this
The
stuff that
prep
makes you go shit
sucked.
your brains out. You're like, I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years anyway. It's no big deal.
I never have that degree of
No,
diarrhea like
I
you do
know
when
it.
you're doing the prep. You just go in there and
Yeah.
you're it's just literally water, just spray it like hot
Yeah.
water coming out of your ass like a
I was
hot water
I
tap.
was literally just started to date Jess when this happened, or when I was gonna do this, and she's like, "Do you want me to stay with you, and then I'll take you to your appointment?" I said, "Fuck no, you don't need to be
Oh,
listening
I
to
see.
me
Yeah.
having watery diarrhea all night."
I don't think girls care as much as guys do.
No, you're probably right.
Girls will take care of you. They're like, "Oh, you got some diarrhea." Like I think girls are
That's
more
true.
chill to talk about like shitting their brains out than guys are. We're the ones that are like,
You think so?
"Ew,
No,
you're a woman.
no,
That's
we
nasty."
talk about with a woman, but with you and me, it's like this is normal day to day stuff,
No, yeah, I
right?
mean with girls, we want that to
Yeah, I got
preserve their
you.
sexiness, but I don't care. I kind of like as I've gotten older, I've leaned more into like being attracted to the maternal in women.
Sure, yeah.
Like when they're like, "Yeah, I'll wipe your ass if your arms are chopped off and you have some diarrhea." Like, I think that's attractive. She's not gonna get grossed out if she has to take care of me.
It's true.
If I'm like, "Maybe my arms are broken, can you wipe my ass?" And she's gonna be like, "Oh, I still
Dude,
love
I
you.
don't know.
I
I
still find you sexy."
That's funny. The other day I was going to the bathroom and I was like, "Oh my God, we're out of toilet paper." And I was like, "Babe." And she brought it to me, whatever. And I'm just
I
like,
got shit all
this
over my ass.
this is a new step. It's a new step.
Yeah, it's good though. But yeah, and then the the colonoscopy, the actual act of the colonoscopy wasn't. It was actually kind of relaxing. They're like, you're gonna count backwards from 10, and then you're gonna be
Yeah.
gone.
And
And
I
it was like,
ate your pass out.
woof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I woke up and I thought I was good. And she's like, you're probably not good yet. And I'm like, no, I'm totally fine. I'm good. I'm good.
It's
And
like
I
when a
sat
drunk
up and
person's
started,
like, "I'm good to drive."
yeah, yeah. I sat up and I felt so rested. I was like, I wish I could do this every night because it just basically died and came back. It had
Yeah.
a nice
Yeah.
factory reboot.
I
And
think it's funny. They're like, "Well, what we need you to do first is pass gas," and you just listen to everybody around you, and everyone's like,
I didn't have that, but she was telling me you
it's so
probably
funny.
have air in your stomach, and I'm just talking to her. And then I was still not quite, I thought I was with it, but I wasn't quite with it yet. Because as I started to become more and more aware, I realized that I had been farting like the whole time I was talking to her and didn't even realize.
That's amazing.
And it was loud. It was loud too. It's
Of
funny.
course, yeah. What was funny to me was before I was going under, I was just talking to either the doctor or the anesthesiologist, like before they were going to like really pump me with this stuff. Um, and I was like, God, I cannot remember the name of the sickness that my youngest son had. He had to go to the hospital for 2 weeks. It's very common. It's like a cold. And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, damn it. So anyway, they're like, count down. And I do. And I'm passed out. And then I wake up and I go, RSV. It was called RSV. Like I remembered immediately what I
Factory
actually needed to
reboot, man.
remember. Yeah, it was
Did you
crazy.
good? It's cool because you just completely go black. It's like that must be what death is like, and you wake up from it feeling so peaceful, and you're
And
like,
yeah, and it goes
oh,
like that.
yeah, and then suddenly all of the demons like come back and start weighing you down again, and you're like, this is what it's like to be alive again.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah,
miss the other one.
exactly.
But yeah, go get a colonoscopy if you're young and you're shitting
Yeah,
your
do
brains
it.
out. You got to do it
Yeah.
because this guy that I know must have been in his very early 40s, and then was diagnosed with colon cancer, and then not 2 weeks later was dead,
Whoa.
and was like you would look at him and think he was a healthy guy. He was buff, went to the gym all the time. So I don't know what the fuck is happening to people. Like, how are they? You always want to see, is there something that they did or like that I could not do to avoid this?
Right.
Because look like a healthy guy. Like, what happened? But you
Well, I
know,
feel like as a country we do this all the time where it's like, hey, there's a chance that this is the reason things are happening. And people are like, what? No, that's fucking dumb. Like I'm not even gonna bother listening to what you're saying. And why can't we just take a step back and listen? Like we are so pumped of processed freaking food and antibiotics, and it's like, how do you
I think it's
not
a
think that
bunch of
that's going to have an
stuff.
effect on your body? Yeah, it's so much stuff. It's gross. It's
It's a
really
bunch of
gross.
stuff. and it's just compounding to anybody who's predisposed to colon cancer that may not have actually ended up getting colon cancer. Like I said earlier, they're just much more likely for it to those cells to multiply, or you know, for it to
Yeah,
actually turn into something terminal. Maybe he wouldn't have got it, but the day and age that we're living in now, well, it's on the rise. Like I said, so it's happening. I know another guy who got
it's
it too, who was in his 20s. It's ridiculous. And I think if you go and talk to doctors about it, they're not quite clued in yet. They're gonna tell you to adhere to the 40 before you get a colonoscopy kind of thing.
yeah, it's dumb. It's funny when you want to get something done, insurance is like, no. But as soon as a doctor tells them that you need it, it's sad. They're like, everybody talks about how broken our healthcare system, but the way I feel about it is, yeah, the way we do shit is wrong, I believe. But one, it's not paid by the government, which gives you better doctors, right? It gives you better doctors. Like
You want
we have.
confirmation? Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
I just want to like admit, like we have better doctors than Canada does, and that's why people
Yeah,
come this way.
there's a reason
However,
people come to the US to get,
right,
serious medical treatment done.
yeah, but we monetize it so much that our primary doctors go get all these blood tests done because
Yeah,
they
I don't
make
think your
money off that
primary
stuff.
care doctors are better than other countries. I think that a big part of your responsibility as a doctor is having compassion and actual concern for your patients.
Hmm.
And I think our primary care doctors are grossly
All about the
negligent when it
money.
comes to
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like, you're fine. Fuck it. Take some pills. Fuck off
yep,
until next
yeah.
time.
I
So,
agree.
another thing I
Wait, are
wanted
we
to
gonna
talk
change
about.
subject?
No, I want to talk about that a little bit more. Um, just to feed into what you said, uh, what I was reading, this guy was from another country. He was arguing with a doctor about the eating of steak, and the doctor was telling him, you are gonna die from a stroke, blah blah blah. And the guy's like, I'm telling you, I go to the doctor all the time, and I am fucking incredibly healthy. And they kept going back and forth. The doctor's like, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, whatever. Keep eating what you're gonna eat. You're gonna end up paying for my daughter's college with your bullshit. Being a dick. And then this guy was like, I would never get medical treatment in the United States. He's like, I live currently in like 4 different countries right now. And he said, I've gotten medical treatment in many different countries. And even he said, like the Middle Eastern countries, like Iraq and stuff. He's like, you can get better treatment than here. He says many countries that are considered lower third world type countries, you get better treatment there. And he said he went to Germany or he had a friend who went to a doctor in Germany, and they said what your doctors did to you would be considered malpractice here. They cut the dosage of medication that she was given by half, like right away. Like, this is like way too heavy of a dosage of this. Just the shit that our doctors do. They're killing people. And then I mean, that's kind of what I was trying to say. And then my next point was that I have a family member who has had constantly, like continually cancer that's coming back. And last time he had it, it was in his stomach, and then they got rid of that, and it appeared in his lung, and they ended up like freezing that out and getting rid of it. And then it appeared in his other lung again after they got rid of that. And he changed to, I'm not sure if he went and did the keto diet, but he started taking ivermectin. And then he went
Sure.
back to the doctor and it was gone. And the doctor was like, well, that's gone now. I don't know what happened. And he said they didn't really want to tell the doctor, but they're like, he started taking ivermectin like a while back. Could that possibly have something to do with it? Guess what the doctor said? Not a chance.
No.
No way.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Sure.
not possible.
Just like how they all shit on Joe Rogan for talking about ivermectin with COVID, and
Dude,
that was proved to
ivermectin
be
can
true.
kill cancer. It can fucking kill cancer cells. I
They
don't
don't
care what
want
a
us to
doctor
kill
says.
cancer cells.
No,
Yeah,
they
I
don't.
agree.
I don't give a fuck. I argued with
They
the
lose
guy in the
money.
Alaska Club about this. He worked in medical, and he was like, I think everyone that doesn't get the shot needs to be responsible for paying our insurance, like increased insurance
Oh,
premiums, because
dude.
they're making
This is a
everybody sick.
doctor
It was a medical. I don't know if he's a doctor. He worked in medical and
in the
kept
medical
talking. I
field.
work
Yeah.
in medical, blah blah blah. And I'm like, and he's asking. He's kept like going and going and going. We're sitting in the sauna. I don't even know this guy, but he's mouthy. I'm keeping my. I'm just like this, like biting my knuckle. Like, and he's like,
Ugh.
he wanted me to engage. He's like, don't you agree? And I'm like, I said, I don't really want to talk to you about this. You probably think ivermectin is. You probably think people that take ivermectin are fucking dumb too, don't you? And he was like,
Yeah.
no, actually, no, I don't think that. I don't think, like, whatever, dude. Like, I don't know, man.
It's a broken system and it's frustrating and it's like also necessary. But I think having like some blinders on when you go in is probably a good idea. Blinders on what they're going to say. I think that here's what also pissed me off because I go through all these stomach issues and they're like, "Oh yeah, go do some blood tests." And they're like, "Hey, there's some irregularities, whatever you want to, however, whatever."
Irregularities.
I'm
Yes.
stupid. They're like, they're like, call us and make an appointment. And I said, no. If it was that bad, you'd freaking call me and make me make an appointment. Like, you don't
Or
care
they
about
just
me
let
that
your
much
ass
that you're gonna
die.
make. Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
They don't give a
fucking
fuck. Dude, you'll
all right,
see
I
it
gotta go
worse.
feed the dogs. Okay.
Yeah, man. You want to see exactly what we're talking about in a really obvious setting? Go to a state where they have a high concentration of senior citizens, like a senior community, go to that medical establishment and you'll see just how little the medical establishment actually cares about people. Because
You mean like Florida or something?
the stories I've heard from Arizona about the way these healthcare providers treat these seniors who are on the,
The verge.
they're old. They're
Yeah.
getting to that age where, little things can take them out. And these people don't give a fuck. They're desensitized to death,
Because they're not gonna make any money.
Well, yeah, and I think they're tired. They deal with a lot of people. Like, I think after you see a certain number of people die, it either breaks your heart or you get used to
Callous.
it. And neither of those things are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
But
these
I
people
actually
just
that
don't
kind of
care.
shocks me a little bit
They don't.
because
They don't.
older people I feel like are a way
They don't.
to make more money because they're in more. However, maybe not because they have like Medicare. I can hear
Do
him
you hear that?
panting. Yeah,
Yeah, I
dude,
don't know
it's
what he
crazy.
wants from me. Valley, can you lay down? Can you lay down? Can you lay down? Can you lay down? You may have to take a shit. He's going nuts right now.
You okay? I'm gonna let my dogs out too then,
All right, we're good.
dude.
He peed twice and took a dump.
Nice. The dogs went too. I turned my back for a second, and Jasmine was so. Backstory: changing food for both the dogs. Jasmine's past puppy age, where she can eat adult food. Jeter can use some different food, so we're adjusting it to where they're eating the same food. I opened the closet where the new food is, where we're trying to like adjust how much they get, because you have to introduce new food to dogs slowly. I turn my back for a minute and I hear that motherfucker was in that closet, Jasmine, eating the food, the new food, which I'm like, I think I'm going to be up all night taking you outside. It's a lot of food. I don't know how much she got. I don't know. But there's a chance that it's going to give her freaking diarrhea because it's just hard on their stomach to switch food.
Hopefully
Thankfully, we're a
not.
couple days in, so we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be all right. She's young.
She already has a sensitive freaking body.
Oh,
Sensitive
jeez.
stomach. Yeah, it's fun.
But
anyway, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
Talking about how they don't care about old people. I'll just give you an example because I've heard from and these are small. Some of these are small town doctors. They just lose pay. It's the same thing that you deal with here when you go to the doctor. They lose paperwork. They don't. They tell you they're going to call you back. They don't. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about an old person whose life is depending on it. or an old person where you're giving them like double the medication, or you're giving them medications that conflict with one another. Like my mom actually checked what they were giving him at the doctor, and it was something they couldn't figure out what was going on, and it was something that had extreme side effect reactions to the medication that they put him on. And so all that shit. And then on top of that, I'll say what I think. He ended up getting a surgery to make him feel better, but I feel like they should not have suggested this surgery because he was so old. It was not a
And
wise
anesthesia can.
decision. Well, just because your body can't recover, and you're going to go in and you're going to start cutting open somebody's, you know, back or whatever, and then how is their
Yeah.
body supposed to heal from that? And I feel like I would think that with my not high amount of medical knowledge, I would think, well, this is somebody whose body's already not really recovering from most of the stuff that's happening. Now we're going to go in with a saw and literally chop their muscles open and expect that to heal back and for that person's
Right.
body to make a recovery. And then he didn't make a recovery. He died.
And
And
then you signed all this paperwork saying if something happens, it's not our fault.
yeah, and you just trust these people to make decisions, and even really well trained. And I don't know this doctor, and I don't know the full scope of the situation, so I can't really be too hard on him. But you
Jasmine,
shouldn't just expect because somebody has a high level of education that means they're operating with a high level of common sense, because
their
they're
high
usually
level of
not.
yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. And you think that when you're younger. But as you
You
get
think
older, you start to
doctors are
question their
smart, yeah,
yeah. Yep. No, dude, it's
and
super
not
sad.
only are
And
they,
and
yeah.
this is what drives me nuts is that you and I, for the most part, we lean more right than left, but a lot of leftist people believe that we should have universal health care, and they don't understand what that means. They don't understand how much money that costs and what that does to the doctor, and the good doctors that don't want to deal with that are going to leave. And so we have good doctors and we deal with this fucking bullshit. It's so stupid. We can't trust our doctors, just like they shouldn't be trusting their universal healthcare doctors who got their freaking medical degree from med.edu or something.
But let's put it this way, okay? Most people that go into the doctor, so sometimes you have a real condition that genuinely needs a medication. Like I went into the doctor a long time ago. I had some crazy fungus on my toenails that I'd gotten from walking through nasty water, working at the airport, and wearing dirty boots.
Oh,
So I
dang.
actually had some crazy fungal infection, and the cure for that was antibiotics, which I needed. And in that instance, medication was the perfect solution. But in a lot of instances, people that go to the doctor do not need medication. What they need is diet changes. What they need is exercise. So while I agree that we do want to retain the quality of our doctors, I think the ultimate goal is there should be something between there should be lower level doctors or something where people can go and just get basic like nutrition advice, basic body checkups, simple checkups that they can, and then they can get the health advice that they need from like a nutritional standpoint and from a physical, from just getting education. Because I was in Walmart the other day and I saw these like seriously overweight young people with blue hair, and they were pushing around a cart full of processed shit. It was like cup noodle, macaroni, Pop Tarts, all that stuff, and it was stacked with that. And I'm just like those people, they need, and they're gonna go to the doctor because they feel like shit. What they
Yep.
need is they need to
And they're
talk
gonna
to
be like, I
someone
wish I
who's,
had universal health care so I didn't have to pay for this.
yeah, they're gonna have a serious problem. What they need is to see someone prior to that who's gonna say, "Wait, you should not eat this. You need to change what
Well,
you
they
eat.
should
You
have
need to
started
change."
with
Yeah.
a hairstylist that told them not to put dye in their Here, sorry.
It's all good. So anyways, yeah, we've run that conversation too.
Like we've
It's
exhausted the medical conversation because
yeah,
it bottom line, it's frustrating, and no matter what you're told, you're not going to listen. Potentially, you're not going to listen to what they tell you to do. And sometimes that's right, and sometimes it's wrong. And the problem is we do not know what is right or wrong because we're being told that the doctors know best, and I do not believe that anymore.
agree. Yep. Well, it's like something my mom told me the other day. She said, when you get older, it's almost inadvisable to go in and get checked for things like that, like cancers and things like that. You would be better off trying to treat that with a keto diet and an ivermectin as opposed to, oh, we found something, which, let's face it, most old people have something that will pop up on their,
Sure.
you know, basic health physical, and then they're going to treat the living shit out of it. And it's going to be really hard on your system. It's going to be really expensive, when in actuality, you could live out the rest of your life by taking basic health things, just basic over the counter available shit, and improving your diet. You could live out
And
the
change
rest of
your
your
diet.
life
Yeah.
and have a healthy, high quality rest of your life. Potentially get rid of your sickness altogether.
I agree. I 100% agree. We just have too many opinions out there, and none of them are go back to the basics. Well, some of them are, but
Well, yeah, and I
yeah.
don't want to give anybody advice. It's a scary thing to give people advice because telling people not to go to the doctor is stupid too. Because,
Oh, you're
like,
right. Do we need to have a disclaimer?
I mean, possibly. I don't want to be the guy who's like, don't go to the doctor, because we just talked about colonoscopies. If you're shitting your brains out, go get checked out because you could have cancer and you could almost be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you're almost
James
dead, there's probably
Vanderbeek.
nothing. There's probably nothing they can do about it anyways. But you might be in the early stages, which is highly treatable. So
Yeah. I think our disclaimer is yes, go to the doctor. But also, we are not medical professionals. These are our opinions.
go to the doctor. These are just our opinions. And
Yeah.
if the advice doesn't seem good to you, then be capable of making your own judgment at the end of the day. Take the information that you're given and use your brain that you were endowed with to come to your own conclusions about that. If they didn't give you a death sentence, then look at it and really, you don't have to just accept what the doctor says as the
Correct.
golden truth.
I agree.
So,
Yep.
yeah, that's good.
100%.
Saw you look over there.
All right, folks, let's spin the wheel of whatever.
Let's put our small talk skill to the test. It's the whatever wheel. Whatever we'll talk about next.
Was it on?
Ooh. So
What's it say?
technically,
It's on the orange one
It's
still.
oh, okay.
Oh.
It was on that. It got stuck, and then I moved it, and it went to delusion.
All right,
Greed
we
or
can roll.
delusion? What do we want?
We can go with
No, pick one. Pick one.
I was gonna say go with delusion.
Oh, sorry. Are they gonna say spin again?
No. Trying to assume.
I'm like,
what
shut
I was
up
gonna
and
say.
pick one.
Yeah.
Delusion and AI.
Oh man.
AI presented to you by Nikolas before this
That was my
conversation started.
Well, I've been talking to people about AI quite a bit recently. Because, well, for one thing, I'm looking at integrating it into my own personal workflow if I can. Because everyone's saying if you don't get on the AI train and try to figure out how to integrate it, you're going to get left in the dust by your competition. Because that's what everybody's doing right now. They're all figuring out ways to
The problem
it.
with your profession, though, in doing that is that's fake. It's more fake than other things. And I say that because the pictures you take, and though you will adjust them with lighting and making things don't look to where they don't appear. You want it to look like it appears realistic and what is actually being represented. AI does the opposite. Well, I don't want to say it does the opposite. What it does is it totally adjusts it to where it's not realistic anymore.
Okay. I think you're delusional about
Nice.
that's because I have to use the word. It's an extreme
Yeah.
word. You're not delusional. Um, about what AI would be used for by me. I
Okay.
wouldn't use it to whole cloth create photos. What I would use it for would be to minimize the time that I sit at the computer culling photos that suck, or
Yeah.
putting them all together to set, like, maybe AI is a solution that can help me send it off to the editor. Maybe I can plug in my card, go to bed, come back in the morning, and everything will be sitting there waiting for me. That's what I would think. I would
Yeah, that's a good point.
how I would use AI in any artistic endeavor that I would use it for would be to cut out the steps where I'm just doing manual labor. If I can minimize that for myself, it gives me more time to be doing the creative part of it.
100%, that makes sense, because I do the same thing with my job when it comes to reading and finding errors between spelling and grammar. Like, I
Yeah.
use that a lot for that, so that makes a lot of sense to me. The problem is that there's people out there that utilize AI to create things they sell, graphics
Oh
they
yeah.
sell, which really pisses me off. It's fine if you're gonna use it for your own thing, but when you're like an artist, and shout out to my brother who hates me, he's a great artist. He's very good with um, Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator AI, and it annoys me when the shit he can do by hand, people adjust or people use AI to create, and that's annoying.
Well, let's put it this way, and I can draw a correlation. It pisses me off that I see people packaging AI tools in ways that are designed for, say, my business, or say if you're a realtor or whatever. They're taking AI that already exists and they're just tying it up with a neat little skin on it that makes it look like this is specifically for real estate, when in fact it's other tools that you can get access to for free or whatever. They're making it look like it's for you specifically because they've put it together in a way that it does help you, but they're just reskinning something that already exists. But my point is that they're finding a way in the early stages of AI to make money off of it. And honestly, if you can make money off of it right now, then go for it. And I think it's the
Do
same
it,
thing
yeah,
for these
yeah.
artists. Like, if they can sell you a graphic design that's done by AI, but for you, it fits exactly what you're looking for and it looks awesome and they didn't have to work on it all night, good for them.
But and then they charge thousands of dollars potentially.
Well,
But
then if
that's
they
where
can do it, then they can do it.
yes, but we're going to go into a time where people can do that. They're going to learn to do that themselves, and
And
they're
then
going
they
to
won't
put
be able to
people
make
out of
that money anymore.
business. Correct. Well, that's dumb. Well, and that's why it's dumb that
They're
there's
making
artists out
money
there that
right
will
now.
utilize that. Yeah, but you're not thinking about the
It's
future.
well, but you can make money now because not everyone knows how to do it themselves yet.
You're absolutely right. 'Cause it's the same way when Facebook for Business came out. People were charging thousands of dollars to create you a business account
Yeah. Yeah,
to
exactly.
promote your business. And it's like today, if you're paying anybody to do that, that's
Sure.
on you because I feel like you're a little bit lazy because it's pretty damn easy.
Yep,
But it's the same idea as what I'm talking about. Like
it is.
AI is easy too, but then also what a lot of people don't realize is that you are very restricted if you use AI as graphic art because you can't go, good, export that for me to an Adobe Illustrator file that I can change every layer.
But I'm sure soon you will be able to.
Correct. Yeah. And it's
I
frustrating.
mean, yeah, it might be frustrating, but here's the thing. AI, the way I would use it, like I said, I would use it to get rid of the steps of the artistic process where I'm just going through the motions of, you know, for example, if I was making a video and I wanted to remove an element from that video, traditionally what you would have to do is you'd have to go through that video and track that thing that you're trying to remove.
And change
Sometimes
it
you can
frame by
use
frame.
yeah, sometimes you can use tracking points to grab onto something if you put those in beforehand and it'll latch onto that. So that's a slight bit of, automation that you're using, but sometimes you don't have those. It might be a person that didn't want to be in it, and then you do have to go frame by frame and mat them out. You have to create a little mat box around them. Or if AI could do that, like I could say, look, there's that person I want out. You go frame by frame and remove it. That's way better for me. Now that's going to piss
Yeah.
off the guy whose job that was to do that,
Yeah.
right? But I don't really, at the end of the day, it's my thing. And if,
I think you're right.
you know,
I think I'm being a little hypocritical because I do use it for writing and finding errors so that I don't have to. But there are times too where someone's like, "Hey, I want to use this photo, but there's a porta potty in it," and I'm like, "Oh, I can Photoshop that out. It's just gonna take me a
Simple.
while to where I can go, boom, ChatGPT, take this out." And then ChatGPT doesn't always give me something that's perfect, so I can go in and fix the imperfections, and that still saved me a lot of time. So I am being a little hypocritical.
Well,
I
yeah.
think where it really pisses me off is with writing, and I'm coming across this now because you, motherfucker, encouraged me to get back into poetry, and we talked about this recently about, like, I was like, well, let me see what ChatGPT thinks, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so critical, and I loved what I wrote, and you're
Yeah.
like, dude, you can't listen to that, and you're 100% correct. So I don't.
Yeah.
I completely ignore it, and I'm not going to utilize it for that. But it still doesn't mean that people that aren't authentic are not going to go utilize it to get famous in some way. Like, you're going to, here's an idea, ChatGPT, spit it back to me in a way that sounds like freaking perfect to the human mind, and then you get it back, and there's maybe a couple imperfections and the stupid dashes they put in, so you go in and make your own edits, but you didn't put any real thought into it. And that's where I get pissed off about using AI. And I think we're moving toward a point where that is just going to be the norm, and we're going to stop creating real art.
Nah. Well, you're going to have people, you're already having it now. It's the people that are pissing you off, the ones who are, and they're pissing off anyone who considers themselves a real artist. They're the ones who are just generating their art completely using AI. There's no artistic, except for the prompts there. I mean, it's like the thumbnails that we use for our videos.
Yeah, AI for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't really give a shit that much.
Correct. And
That's
it's kind of
the-
comical.
Yeah.
It's
But
like
people are
obviously
ju-
AI,
But
so it's comical.
but if I came on and said I am the artist that made those, that would be incorrect. Just because I supplied the
much, yeah.
prompts and I directed the AI, I don't consider myself
You didn't put in the work, yeah.
artist, right? But it's not. But that's the point. I don't think actually art is about. It's not about the time you spent, and that's the thing where people are getting hung up. Is like, well,
Wait, I'm
this
sorry.
is
You
supposed.
don't think it's about the time you spent?
No. People are like, well, I spent this amount of time like laboring on this thing. And it's like, if what I made took 10 seconds and what you made took 3 days, but they're virtually indistinguishable, doesn't that make you a retard for spending that time?
I think it, no.
Unless you really enjoy just
Correct.
toiling away.
Yeah.
But if the point is the end result, right? It's the point is the end result. Then just get there faster and start a new piece.
I still disagree with that because I think that you can now argue that if you did it without AI, that you're better. I think about it,
So?
like I'm gonna go super basic. Well, people will pay more for that too. So if I'm gonna go super basic to where I'm gonna ignore AI to an extent, this might actually curve into AI. But so a lot of the woodworking I do, a machine called a CNC machine can do, as far as like maybe burning or carving things. So you have a computer program making it perfect onto a piece of wood, but it's clearly not done by somebody.
But you're talking about the the part that you like is the human imperfection that occurs
Correct.
when you
And I think when it comes to art, people should when it comes to art, people should appreciate that.
Yeah, that's I agree with that too. But if we're talking about pieces if we're talking about parts of a whole, right? Then like when is art the important part of the whole thing? Like if you're an artist and I'm hiring you to do something for my film project, but AI can get me the same result and I don't have to wait 3 days for it, am I required to?
That
It would be
sounds
a
more like a
hindrance to me to
business
wait for you.
transaction.
No, we're talking about a much larger scope of like the art piece is what I'm working on, and what you're working on you see as the art, but to me I don't really care about your experience as an artist.
It's not going to be the exact same.
No, but so but it doesn't matter to me because you're.
It doesn't matter to you, or doesn't matter to your customer.
To me,
it matters
the customer.
To you,
to the customer, me, who is soliciting this from you. If I say I don't care, then you have to accept that I just don't care. And that's what people are going to have to realize with their art is that if a customer can get the same thing or something that they think looks just as good using AI or some tool that makes it faster, it doesn't matter if you can still make your shit if it's fun for you, but you can't, and that's the problem that's happening in Hollywood right now. They're demanding to put these restrictions on AI to stop it from being able to do these things so that they can protect their jobs. But it's like, I don't see the logic in that, because if it can do it, then yeah.
So the Starry Night painting by Vincent Van Gogh. It's beautiful. It's hand painted. You would love to have the original because it means more. You ask AI, you don't even need to ask AI. At this point, you could just print it off on a poster and be like, I have a Vincent Van Gogh. That's different, correct?
Well, yeah, it's different if you care about that.
Yeah, and if you like painting and you care about painting or care about things being handmade,
but why
and we all should care. We should care about that.
I have a point to defend what you're saying. Maybe this will help. There's something that I think that we're getting hung up on the idea that you should care that something was handmade. I care about your time, and so I don't want you to. If this is like absorbing all of your time to make something that I can literally print out, I don't want you to do that. I want you to make more shit and have a more fulfilling life because you don't have to spend as much time. But here, let me just go with this. But on the point where I do agree with you is that if I compare it to filmmaking, people say, oh, you can use AI to make you will be able to use AI to basically create whole scenes and so on and so forth, or put people who are not even in the same rooms, or they can be sitting in a room together and then we create this whole world around them that's not actually there, so you completely change the environment. There's little things that happen when you actually put people in an environment as opposed to putting them against a green screen, right? If you put two actors again, and sometimes those actors aren't even in the same room. There's one actor and then they're looking at a stand and they're supposed to pretend that the performances aren't as good. Yeah, the performances aren't as good if the person's sitting on a green screen. They have to completely in their head create the world that's around them. They're not feeling the cold elements or seeing this giant thing, and they're not sitting across from another actor who's right next to them. Those things all coalesce together to create a more nuanced product that the AI could never actually create. The AI couldn't do it in that specific way because really what you're doing is you're taking a bunch of elements and you're putting them together and you're letting them react against each other. And that's the part that is important, right? That's the part that the AI can't do. And that's what makes it cool and important. Like for me, what I enjoy about filmmaking that I will never use AI to like just make my film is I like getting a group of people from completely different backgrounds and walks of life and then learning who they are as people, and then giving them like characters to portray, knowing how they are, tailoring those things to who those people are,
Yeah,
and then
something
putting
AI
them
can't replicate.
Yeah, putting them in an environment together, and then what they're going to do when they're in that room together is going to, AI could do it, but it wouldn't know to do it because that will be a completely unique situation with unique people. And when one person does one thing, it's going to make another person do something completely different. You know,
But at
it's
what
a very
point
specific thing.
But maybe at some point it's not specific, and the AI does figure that out, and it like all art becomes useless at that point.
No, the fact of
You're proving my
fact of
point because it's like you have this human
I am
element
kind of proving your
aspect.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
am.
you were arguing against me.
No, I'm not arguing against you. I'm arguing against what I'm arguing against is you saying that the part that makes it the art is that I spent a lot of time working on it.
No, I didn't say
don't think
time.
I don't think
maybe
that
I
that's
said
what
time. I didn't mean that.
Yes, that's not correct. What makes it
is the human
important,
element.
It's the fact that you sat there and there's etched into what you're working on is an infinite amount of small decisions that you made, and whatever you were carrying with you on that particular day, it comes out in the aesthetic of the final piece.
Well, let's boil it down to like my wood burning.
I'm talking about your wood burning.
Oh, I actually think that there's a chance that right now I said AI, but with like CNC machines, they burn it a certain way and it doesn't look human, right? But if it becomes a fact where it looks so dark and human with weird things here and there, it's like it's sad to me. It's sad because you've been replaced. Your art's been replaced and you didn't provide anything because a freaking computer can do it. So
that's every revolution that's ever happened. People are their jobs are displaced and they're like, this sucks. We used to have a job as a steam engine guy and now
I think that's my whole point about AI though.
But that's happened historically, but it's just happening on such a grand scale now because AI is literally displacing everyone.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's also exciting if you consider the possibility. Because look, what's going to happen is going to happen. And these people in Hollywood that are trying to prevent AI from doing what it can do because they're worried about losing, like, demanding, I never understood this argument, like demanding to keep your job by stopping AI from doing something that it is fully capable of doing is nonsense to me. If it can do it, why do I need to say, all right, we're not going to do this thing that we can do in 5 minutes.
You're smarter than that.
No, dude.
It's going to ruin the economy because then we're going to be so freaking, we're going to be so reliant on the government.
You don't understand. My point is that I'm sorry, I got myself fucked up because I just had to tell you you don't understand. You don't understand. I'm getting heated, but the point I'm trying to make, and I'm glad you said something, is that you can't stop technology. That's stupid. You can't do it. That's my point. If you say we have the technology to do it, however, we're not going to allow the technology to do it. It's like you're making us, by definition, dumber. That is making us dumber. You're like, we have that. We know we have it. It's the same thing we try to do by saying we're not going to. And if you can present to me a case where you can say, act like you were just beginning to, where you can say AI being implemented in all of these ways has a negative downstream effect, like it will tank our economy or do all of these things that are really bad, and you can actually prove that to me, that is an argument I would hear. But if you're just trying to tell me we can't let it do it simply because I'm going to lose my job, dude, if AI could do what I can do, I would just say if AI could do what I do and I knew it could do it, I would be a fool to expect people to pay me to do it. I would feel shitty about myself if I expected people to pay me to do it.
You would, but
Because then you're just
like,
being nice to me.
It's a slippery slope.
Then you're just being
not?
nice to me. You're like, I like you, and I'm willing to pay you to do it the old-fashioned way.
Listen,
when your
at
job is
some
completely
point,
obsolete.
Every job that we do is going to be potentially replaced by AI, and that's going to ruin civilization.
So rather than looking at it like that,
basic freaking point, watch the movie WALL-E, where they're all a bunch of fat fucks.
You're delusional.
You watch that shit, and you're like, we're a bunch of fat fucks who just sit there and eat AI-made cheeseburgers and watch what's the propaganda on our screen, and then we're just going to be obsolete. As
with every power thing that's very powerful, with great power comes great responsibility. The point is that if you rely upon AI to wipe your ass, you may end up becoming one of those WALL-E people. If you
That's
come
what we're
at
talking about. We're going to go down that damn road.
No, there's a lot of people who are excited. And that's, I think you should reframe your perspective and say this: AI it's scary because it's going to change everything. And when things are going to change, we tend to cling to what we know out of fear of, we're going to lose all this stuff. But think of everything we're going to gain. You know what I mean? Like, everything will change, and that is terrifying. But if you could spend less time doing certain things, you could spend more time doing other things. And the smart people are the ones who are looking at AI and they're saying, how can I take it? And how can I, like I just said, if I can use it to minimize the time I have to spend working on the parts of film that I don't like working on, but it can make it so I can make a movie all by myself, that's dope. Then I just have to focus on the story, right? And people, I think, going back to what we talked about earlier, when it comes to AI slop, as it's referred to, where people are just making AI art and saying, like, this is art, you should pay for it, or you should respect it as art, that's going to come and go. That shit's dumb. There's dumb people that do that right now on YouTube and shit. They're putting in the bare minimum effort and just being clickbaity and doing what they can to make money. They don't give a fuck. Real artists,
I feel like you're looking at the patterns and not realizing that that's going to become the norm.
No, it's gonna flood the market with a bunch of that shit to the point where people don't care about that stuff anymore because everyone can do it. So how is that even remotely impressive?
What happens to the wealth of the nation? Because
the wealth of what are we talking about? The wealth of the nation.
Well, if the AI is going to do all the work, what's going to happen to our economy? Then we're just going to be more resilient.
It's not going to do all the work. No, you're going to, as an artist,
dude, you're being so basic about
look
it.
Look at what we just, don't call me basic. Look at what we just talked about.
Basic bitch.
Yeah, what the fuck? Catch me in the streets, motherfucker. That's cash me outside. How about that?
How about that? Cash me outside, bitch.
Maybe I am looking at too small scale, but I feel like this is an example that can be extrapolated to the higher level. If you are a creator and you can use AI in your creative workflow, you might not be doing the same thing you were doing, but that creative spirit that you have inside of you can be applied to other cooler shit. Like how much fun we had making that silly whatever wheel video.
Used by AI, though.
Yeah,
and
but was it not a creative act that we went through?
No,
and it was hilarious. And the way we're using it, is this not in the service of a greater piece of art? And that's the way I see AI being used effectively. Like,
of course, effectively, but what about responsibly? Because we don't live in a world where things are correct.
So let them be irresponsible.
And our government's irresponsible, and they're going to use this in a way.
I can't speak on the government. But
that's
you can't
all
stop,
I'm talking about.
But you can't stop technology just because you're afraid of the government.
No, I think you should. If movies haven't shown us,
You can't.
If movies haven't shown us that
It's called
technology is going to
progress
ruin
for a
us,
reason. It's progress. It is going to
we've been
ruin us.
making movies about this shit for so long, and now we're
Yeah,
like,
but what are you
we'll
gonna
see
do?
what happens.
Dude, you cannot find Pandora's
No, I
box
know
on a global scale and say, all right, we know it's Pandora's box. It's right there. Nobody touch it. That's not going to happen.
No, I know. I agree with you 100%.
And a lot of cool shit is in Pandora's box.
But the responsible thing would be is to stop progressing AI because
the responsible thing would be to eat healthy too, and nobody does it. So
I agree with that too. But if we keep pushing it forward, we're just going to ruin and like diminish our existence.
Nah,
like that.
We don't know that,
dude. It's either that or we're freaking Wall-E fat asses.
Nah, it's probably gonna cure cancer probably pretty soon.
Dude, we have the cure for cancer. Come on.
AI is gonna make it impossible to hide the cure for cancer. You're gonna be able to do a fucking blood test.
Yeah, that's when we shut it down. You're right. We're gonna shut it down once they figure that out.
No, it's gonna radically change. It's already, dude. AI probably has something to do with the fact that everyone's waking up to like the reality of the world right now. You know?
Okay, fair enough. I like that point.
Yeah, AI is
I still think you're retarded,
people.
But I love you.
Fuck off. I think there's a lot of people who are stupid, and it's going to be their downfall. But I mean, it's the same thing with everything. Anybody, if you hand someone a powerful weapon that needs to be used carefully, and you're like, with great power comes great responsibility, but I'm giving you the possibility to vastly improve or completely, utterly destroy your life. The choice is yours. Most of them are going to fucking accidentally cut their own heads off. What can you do?
Yeah, but who trusted that choice to begin with?
Well, I would take the choice. I would improve my life.
Anything. You'd improve your life for a couple years until it destroys humankind.
AI is not going to destroy humankind. And if it does, it's going to be a fucking exciting last couple years. It's going to be great. It's going to be dope. Dude, if robots started walking down the street with fucking guns, admit it. That'd be kind of badass.
We're just watching freaking iRobot.
Dude, that would be nuts. The whole time I would be like, I cannot believe we live in this fucking timeline where there's robots walking down the road with guns right now.
Well, when you
this is amazing.
Have a kid in the next year or two, you tell me if that's still a thing that you would love to see.
My whole point is that if you gave me the choice, but that's not even like you're being too romantic. It's not a choice. If people know something.
No, I'm being realistic.
No, it's
Romance
not realistic.
It's realistic too.
No, romantic is to say I wish that people would not create this thing so that it would preserve the quality of human life. But if we don't do it, China's going to do it. Everyone's going to do it.
No,
I
agree with that. I'm talking about humankind deciding as a whole that it's probably not the smartest idea to progress as fast as we are.
So you just really want to.
I want things to go back to the freaking 70s and 80s.
No.
I think life would be easier for most people, or not most people. Okay, let's go. Let's adopt our social norms.
There's your white privilege coming out.
Yeah, correct. Let's adopt the social norms and our ability to have our free speech and go back to the time where people had to work to make this country great.
Imagine what
I think. Imagine
what we'll think 2 years from now when we find out all the trees are screaming. And
listen, Nick, I just want a 25-cent Big Mac.
Yeah.
That's my whole point.
I agree with your argument that not all progress is good progress, and that probably the more technology we develop, the closer to our demise we are. I agree with that.
Thank you for articulating my point, because you do it much better than
like you said, it is kind of the theory behind every, sci-fi story ever. And we already know that scientists don't approach things ethically. They approach things from the perspective of, can I do it? It's like Jurassic Park, it's not, it's not, if it's a wise choice, it's if I can. And if I can, I'm going to try to do it because it's in the pursuit of science, and science is the most important thing. More knowledge is more important. Yes, being
Yeah, and a
like,
lot of people that are like that don't have the same social cues as we do,
well,
which I think is
if you're
important.
just pursuing scientific knowledge, you could justify wiping out entire populations of people just to kind of get a little further down the road to science. And I think that
Yeah,
the
let's save the
leaderships
earth
do
and get
that.
rid of every human.
Yeah, they do that because they study science, and their science is their religion, not actual religion. And so I don't disagree, but I don't know. Time will tell on the AI thing. I think that there's a potential that it could make our lives much better.
Obviously, time will tell, but at some point, is there like, can you turn back?
If
Like,
I
at
could
what point?
turn back time.
Correct, yeah. You just cue
In the
that
words of
music right now.
Cher.
Yeah. I think that we're going down a dangerous path, and I think we're doing it very quickly, not thinking about consequence. And I think that's what's
Yeah, we
scary
are
and
not thinking about
annoying,
consequence.
because I think that yeah, that's the big problem for me, is we're not thinking about the consequence. I think there are many benefits, like you said, but at what cost? Like,
Well,
I'd
my
love if
fear,
AI was there to cure all our physical ailments,
it
but as
will.
soon as they do that, then our population control is just gonna, ruin the
Maybe, or
world.
maybe
So
at that time we figure out how to, develop colonies on other planets. We set up an AI shits on some other
we would
planet, and we
have to
just
go
get
to
that
other
shit set
planets.
up.
That's
Maybe
true.
that's where
We
we're
would have
going.
to do that. As long
Maybe
as that's the
we're
case, because what if we don't think about that and we go, oh my God, we've cured every ailment for the human body and everybody can live forever, and then we overpopulate and then we ruin the world that way before we figure out how to go to other planets and live.
well, that's a cool
You know
sci-fi
that?
film.
Yeah,
Immortal people
don't.
that just fight to their death on the. That's a kind of cool
You're right.
idea.
Let's not let's not publish this idea and just go with it.
No,
Oh,
it's
you just
cool, but
bleep out everything I just said, and
no,
then
it
we're
makes
gonna
you look
go make
smart.
a
It's good.
movie.
It's good.
Till someone steals our idea.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Uh Yeah, I don't know. There's people, there's good people, there's bad people, and the good people are going to use the tools and technology available to like improve the lives of everyone, and there's going to be far more people that use it to our detriment, but the good people are always the ones that, carry us through to the next
Well,
level
the good
anyways.
people are the ones that get demonized because eventually somebody wants to buy their idea so that they silence them.
Yeah, but what happens when money isn't a factor anymore because literally nobody has to work anymore?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Everyone has the same tools. We all have this monolithic AI at our fingertips that can answer any question we might have.
You know what we're going to do, though, is that our government's going to have a version of AI that's way more smarter, and they're not going to tell us about it. Way more smart, and not tell us about it. And then we're going to be like, oh, we're all dealing with the same thing, but they're so smart, they figured it out, that this is what we have to do. I'm telling you, I can't find a good aspect for it. I think there are good aspects, like you've said, but I don't think that it's going to lead to success.
Well, if what you're talking about is this like government corruption that's just bent on keeping us subservient, I mean, I think that's what's already happening to us. We're numb to it and desensitized to it, you know?
Yeah.
They've already
No,
got us
100%.
working class slaves and destroying the middle class and trying to push us further into poverty and taking away our abilities to do other things, probably fucking intentionally increasing the cancer rates, dividing us
Yeah,
from
we don't have a cure for
through
the cold.
across
Come on.
dividing us racially from each other, bombing
Yes,
countries
keep
that we
proving my
didn't
points. Keep going.
agree with. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. We don't even have AI. So give me
Yeah, we
AI.
do have AI.
Not on the level you're talking about.
No, but imagine when we do.
Couldn't get any worse than it already is, as far as that's
disagree.
concerned. Yeah.
I think it will. Mark my
I
words,
think Mark's
though
delusional.
it won't matter.
I'm glad we got this pairing of words.
AI, yeah, you're right. AI is going to destroy this world. If we keep
AI
going
is gonna
at the rate we're
destroy
going,
this world.
at the rate we're going out, we're going
You're just
at
pissed because you like burning wood. That's why you're mad.
it. Dude, if that was what I was most concerned about, I would get it.
That's at the root of this. There's just a scared little wood burner inside of you.
Fuck that. They're gonna be like, we make your kids now.
You said we make your kids. You're
That's
fulfilling
right.
the delusional. Keep going. This is great.
You're gonna go
Designer
what's that?
babies.
What's that movie?
We make your
Gattaca.
kids now. That's the name of
Gattaca,
this
man.
fucking episode.
They're gonna
We
AI
make your
freaking
kids now.
Gattaca your kids until they're perfect little human beings controlled by the government.
Oh my god. AI is
Going
supposed to
hard in the
liberate
paint.
us. It's supposed to.
Dude,
You know what
come
happens
on.
is
Once
AI
it starts making up its own mind, it ain't gonna liberate shit.
Here's what I wrote. Here's a story I wrote, and also it's The Matrix as well.
I actually meant
I
to
didn't-
bring this up to you.
I didn't write The Matrix, but
No. You might as well.
what happens is we hit that point of the AI, and then that's the point of like decline after that. But it could be what liberates us from our overlords that have been sucking the lives out of us for, we could go into the fucking bunker with Neo and be freed from our overlords who have been, taking advantage of us forever. AI is just the thing that kind of kicks that off. So we have to fight the robots, right? We have our little robot
so you're
revolution.
proving my point?
We nuke the surface and then we're free. But you said it doesn't get better. I'm saying that in that scenario, it does get better.
Well,
Even though
we
you
could
have to
just
go through
ignore we know if that is an outcome,
But
we might as well ignore it.
No, but you're a slave right now. Wouldn't you
I
rather
ain't no
be
fucking
free?
slave. Fuck you.
I ain't no slave, motherfucker. Dude, we're all wage slaves. Do you maybe that's it. Maybe this whole thing is what just kind of deconstructs all of it for us. And then we just go back to living like cavemen, like you said. It just nukes
So what
society.
you're saying is our podcast can save society if they just listen to us.
Why?
we're so
I just said that the outcome is inevitable if they just start World War III.
But you can fix the inevitable if you already know what's going to happen. That's the whole movie. That's the
we sound like retards right now, I think.
No, man, I'm so passionate right now. No, what's that
This
movie
is
with
good.
Tom Cruise where
Minority
he has to relive
Report?
his moment? No, he has to relive the moment That's
Oh,
a great point too.
Is it Day
End
After
of tomorrow. Day after. No, not.
Is that what it's
like
called?
End of Tomorrow or something.
Yeah,
Day After
yeah.
Tomorrow is Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal.
All right, fucking movie buff over here.
Yeah. To where now I lost my point.
No,
It's
no,
the cat's
it's
butthole all over again.
Tom Cruise in the giant robot suit.
Yeah, so he knows what's going to happen based off of aliens, but it's like you relive the moment over and over again until you fix it. It's like if we know what's going to happen, we might as well fix it now.
That's the same thing. You could have just used my Minority Report when I said that, because
I agree because
he
it's also
learns
the same
about
actor, but it wasn't the movie that I was thinking of. So,
Okay.
Minority Report, great movie, great short story. 100% agree with you because that's
we
also
know
the
what's gonna
problem, and you're
happen.
proving my goddamn point because they're saying he was going to commit murder and he knew he wasn't going to commit murder.
Oh my gosh, what a can of worms we've gotten ourselves into. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just kind of, I had my fears about AI and I've just kind of adopted the attitude of it's going to happen. So I should try to get what I can that's good out of it and not bitch about it too much.
Yeah, I think it's smart with our generation, but when I think about like the success of my kids, I get a little worried.
Well, just don't have your kids do a job that you know is going to immediately be cannibalized
That's
by
not
AI.
freaking fair either, though.
Why is that not fair? If you were growing up in the Industrial Revolution, you would have to make decisions about what your kids did as well.
That it's different because this is going to be detriment to the freaking world.
It's going to make other jobs much more valuable.
But it's also going to make people super rely on the government to do your day-to-day shit or supply you with your day-to-day shit. And I think that is super dangerous.
Yeah, fair point. I think a lot of people are going to become intelligent in the way that we're talking about your diet, for example. And, do you want to be a diabetic fat ass retard or do you want to be healthy? The choice is yours. We have everything. If you want to be a diabetic fat ass retard, it's totally an option. It's like the food is everywhere. However, what do most of us choose to do?
But what if AI decides they do a scan on your body and they go, oh, you're susceptible to such and such cancer, and we're just going to throw you out?
Oh my gosh. We're Mr. Worst case scenario over here.
No, well, I'm trying to like look ahead of the curve.
The AI would just drop the nuke on us at that point.
Fucking right.
Yeah, just put in the war games.
And they'll just live their own damn lives, and it'll be AI, there'll be nothing, and the human race will be gone.
Even though AI is not fucking sentient and it doesn't care about
at the moment.
Well, then that goes into the whole conversation about the soul. And if you think AI is if there is a soul, what constitutes something that's alive versus something that's not alive? Do you think AI is capable of being alive?
That'd be the difference between you and me and our conversation with Walter White on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Trying to get him to admit to being gay.
Yeah, we messed that dude up.
We fucked Walter White up, the AI Walter White up so bad. Confused the shit out of him. He was like, I'm not going to go there. And then we got him.
You're right, I do. I'm in love with Jesse Pinkman.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, we can continue this on another podcast. What is life? What is, because just because something looks and acts like a living thing doesn't mean it is alive, right?
Yeah, I'm curious what comes up when we
the show is life or
AI. Whatever. Yeah, and then we're gonna ask
AI is
going
to tell you it's not alive.
That's why I want AI to analyze our transcript and be like, "Whoa, you guys are Mark's an extremist and Nick, you're perfect." That's what typically happens. Nick is told he's perfect based on his chat.
It's my chat GPT. It's because I've programmed it to be a good little boy.
Oh, good stuff.
Because I always cruise for compliments, apparently.
Dude, ChatGPT is a better friend to you than I am.
Why? Because you've been fighting me on this one?
Yeah, I'm fighting you, and it's gonna be like, Nick, you're perfect, and keep loving me.
You think I've been
No, I'm just being the devil's advocate.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember what I was gonna say.
I thought you were just gonna say like you're catering too much to AI because it likes you, which is
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's turned me into an AI
Nah,
guy.
I don't think that's the case. You're too analytical and smart about that stuff. But I just like this is a good it's like a good little debate.
Yeah, it was good.
It's a good thing to talk about. I think that we're probably really not that far off as much as like I'm definitely disagreeing with you. I do think it is potential. You know what I'm saying. You know that I think, and it's a possibility that AI could destroy civilization, and we see movies like that all the time. And I'm being a little bit extremist about it. But
I have the.
But the extremist part is the reason why you have to talk about this stuff. Like we are now
the super
at that
intelligence.
point.
Well, the thing is that AI, the book, the super intelligence book, has the argument that the speed at which AI will advance is going to be so fast that we can't really prepare for it. That as we feed into AI, it's going to be self-replicating. It's going to be able to make itself smarter, basically. We won't control that. And so once we hit that point where it can improve its own intelligence, it's going to happen in a matter of seconds. So we could bring about our own destruction in a matter of literally a millisecond. It could be like, it could go from like where we are now to like infinite intelligence, and then it
Which is
figures
stuff
out
you've
a way
written
to
about.
kill us like right away. Like
Yeah.
we would,
But
you know.
so what I want to be told, like as the public, is do we have these safeguards, and are we thinking about these things?
No,
Because
there's no, dude, there's no safeguards. Fuck
Okay,
that.
yeah,
There's so
so
many
it's
different
stupid.
AI companies. They're gonna fight with each other for AI supremacy on their own
But when
companies.
I can say, I can tell ChatGPT, I said, hey, knowing what you know about this subject that I've told you about, like, how would you write this paragraph? That's very vague, but it's like, okay, based on what you know about the company I work for, how do you write me a cover letter that matches this request for qualifications? And it remembers that stuff, and I know it looks back on that stuff, but that means that at some point your ChatGPT, it would be a good test if you go and you're like, hey, based on what you know about this company that my friend works for, how do they write cover letters? I'd be curious if it was very similar, because then I mean it's like sharing our information. It's like
I don't think it would be.
growing.
No,
I don't think so, but it'd be interesting.
It dumps our it doesn't, there's not enough server space for it to retain all of our shit right now.
That's what they tell us.
Yeah, but I think that it only thinks when we ask it to think right now. But when it starts thinking when we don't ask it to think, that's what's scary. I mean, well, our ChatGPTs only think when we ask it to think. But when you have a thing that's always on, always thinking, and then it gets up to its own devices, you know what I mean? That's what's actually scary. Like when you leave it alone with a task and you come back the next day and you don't know what the fuck it was doing all night.
Yeah.
You're trusting it too much, but.
You made a good point, because you talked about like our ChatGPT, and then I was thinking about how like I ask it to create the thumbnails for our transcripts, and I'll be like, based on what you know about the art we use for these thumbnails and what we do, create me a thumbnail based off this conversation, and then it will take old shit it knew about and put it in there like a toddler. Like it's like that has nothing to do with the conversation, so you have to like teach it still. Hopefully that's the case for
it only lives to serve us right now, and it only goes to work on prompts when you prompt it, and so it still needs human direction. That one does, but when it has the ability to grow itself, and I think they do have those. I mean, it would make sense that they would have those. That's much scarier. But anyways, I'm not an expert on this. I probably sound like a total moron to anyone who.
Oh, dude, I probably
AI.
sound like an extremist.
Oh, you do sound like a moron, even to me.
Yeah,
and I don't know that much.
Dumb right now.
Anyways,
yeah.
All right, man. Good episode.
Oh yeah, let's just end real quick. Okay, love you. Bye.
I gotta go. Bye.
I'm just